morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica and this video is going to be a deviation from me again, and I need to make some shorts for my boys. So a struggle that we have around here is that they keep hitting growth spurts, but we are struggling to get them to eat enough, so their waist isn't keeping up with their height, and it's an issue that we're working through. But in the meantime, that means it's very difficult for me to find shorts that are the appropriate size for them, because they need the length but then they just fall down. And a lot of the clothes that we buy come from thrift stores, and so even if they have the adjustable elastics that in the waistband, I don't know if you've seen kids clothes recently, but a lot of the pants and shorts will have those elastics with basically the buttonholes in them, and then there will be buttons on the inside of the waistband to pull them tighter. The problem is, in a lot of the ones that we found, all the elastic is shot, whether it's an elastic waistband or the elastic inside a regular waistband. And I'm also struggling to find their correct size right now. I don't know if it's just not one that people have donated recently, but I mean, we could go out and buy a couple of new ones. They have a lot of just the gym play shorts, but I really would like for them to have a couple of nice pairs of shorts, and because there's two of them for the twins, you know, and for them to each have two, I'll need 4 pairs of shorts. So I have this shorts pattern. It's called the Sandy Bay shorts, and I got it off of Etsy years ago. Just a digital pattern, and it's pictured girls all over it. So I think they're more typically girl, but in a child that size, I don't really think the shape matters too much. And so it's the only shorts pattern that I have that has the fly and the button, which is what I'm going for, because they have enough of the play shorts. I just wanted them to have a couple of pairs of nicer shorts. And so I'm going to use this pattern, although I'm going to change it a lot because this is really short and I want it to be a little bit longer for them. And I'm not going to have the bottom hem flips up for an extra detail, which I feel like looks pretty good, but that's just not something I'm going for on these shorts for the boys. So that's the plan. I have already sketched out the size that they need on my pattern paper off of the master copy that I printed and taped all together, because I'm not gonna do that again. I've used this pattern several times for my daughter, and I'll probably use it again, and I don't want to have to reprint that out. And so I've already added the length to, where is it? I've already added the length that I want to the actual shorts. And even on the pattern, I will say one thing I'm running into is their size everywhere else is still so big in the waist, because my boys have a really tiny waist. So I have a couple of changes that I'm going to make in addition to the length. I'm probably going to leave the pockets as they are and the fly, but what I want to do is either, I haven't figured out which one I want to do yet, either make from the center, the side seams all the way through the back, have that be completely elasticated back there and just have a flat top, or I want to put some of that elastic that has the holes in it for adjustability in there. I have 2 rolls of that elastic, one black, one white, that I got a while back, and so there's a chance I'll do that. There's also belt loops, I'm trying to think. Anyway, they're going to be simple and basic, but I really wanted the fly and the front. I will say I'm probably going to put a snap on the front instead of a button, because all of my boys have had problems with buttons. They just don't like them, which I understand. So I don't know yet how that's going to look in the pattern pieces. We'll figure that out as I go. I pulled out a few fabrics that I think would look really cute. So I have this striped cream and brown. They're brown stripes. And then I just have some darker khaki, some lighter khaki, and then this like grayish green. All of these are a little bit heavier weight, but still nice and soft, and I feel like will make some pretty nice shorts. I think I have enough of this. I'd like to have enough of this and use it up because it's been in here for quite a while. I hope I have enough of it for one pair of shorts. So that is what we're going to tackle today. I don't know how far we will get, but the weather's getting warmer and they are wanting to live in shorts, understandably. It's going to get hot. It's not hot yet, but it's going to get that hot. So they're all washed. All the fabrics are good. It's ready to go. I'll need to go hunt up my interfacing, but yeah. Okay, it is all cut out. So we have the right waistband, the left waistband, the belt loops, which this is going to get sewn into a tube and then cut into the belt loops. We have the front pocket, the back pocket, the front pocket facing, the fly shield, the front, and the back. Okay, I've got it all cut out. I'm going to just go ahead and start working through the instructions. The last time I edited the length of the shorts, I was making them for my daughter, and I did make them so that the bottom flipped up. So in the original pattern, the bottom hem of the shorts goes in and then back out because the bottom is meant to flip up for like a decorative cuff. I'm not doing that here. This is the first one I'm not actually doing that on. So I straightened it up a little bit, but the front piece, I don't know. We'll see how it looks when I actually start sewing it together. It looks a little straight. Again, this is the first one. I'm only doing one. I will tackle the other three. And I might end up not using this and making yet another one. But that's why I'm not batch doing this yet, because I just don't know with the changes that I'm making. But I really do like this pattern. It turned out really good the last time. Just the front looked so good. Okay, I did not film any of the making process of the first pair of shorts, partially because I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do and the changes I was going to make. And part of it is because my battery died and I didn't realize that I hadn't charged the other battery, so both batteries were dead and I needed to work whether or not I had charged batteries. So I will film the next one because I am going to make some changes, but I do want to show what I did here. So I made a few extra belt loops, and that's just not necessary for a waist this tiny. So I'm going to take it back down to the original amount that the pattern called for, and it'll be fine. Also, I don't know how visible it is, but it's a shaped waistband, and I was not 100% sure about this when I cut it out, but it gets down to really tiny in the front, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that whether it's for girls or boys. I don't like it. So I went ahead and edited the pattern to, it's still a shaped waistband, but it's gonna be the same width all the way around, and I feel like that'll be a lot better, because partially too, like if you'll see how big the belt loop is there, it just kind of looks weird. So anyway, other than that, the other big change that I need to make is I added too much onto the length, so I cut another 1.5 inches off the bottom, and that should be fine. I had one of my twins come in here yesterday and try it on. You can see I didn't actually put the snap there yet. I'm still going to. I haven't figured out which one, but that is so thick right there because there was literally nowhere else for that seam allowance to go, versus like if it had been the same width as here, it would be easier to get the snap in. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I'm still gonna see if I can use these, but I think I'm gonna make 2 pairs of shorts out of the striped one, and then one each of the other 2 fabrics, because I really like the striped ones and they're really nice, and the boys like stripes, and that way they both can have stripes, and they do like matching every once in a while. We don't typically dress them matching, They're not identical anyway, they're fraternal. But I already have enough people come up to me randomly and ask me if they're identical, and I want to be like, no, they're not. They don't. But like, I try to give people a little bit of grace and be like, okay, they don't live with them every day, so they don't see the differences like I do. But to me, they don't look anything alike. They look like brothers, obviously, but not identical twins. That being said, we've never dressed them matching, except for like me making specific, like I made all of their Christmas outfits for Christmas portraits. I think it was 2 Christmases ago, and that was fun. But yeah, most of the time they don't match, but I do like to every once in a while, and I really like that striped fabric. So probably gonna make 2 of those, and this will be my play pair. Everything's cut out for both pairs of striped shorts, and I have done a little bit of pressing, and I do need to cut out more of the interfacing for the waistband, but I went ahead and cut out the interfacing for the fly facing pieces, which, noteworthy, they're supposed to be cut this way. So cutting it mirrored, I had one that was facing the wrong way, so I had to go recut that. So I should have noted that before I cut it out. Thankfully it was a small piece. So those are pressed, and then the other fly piece, what's it called? Something. I don't have the piece in front of me. But the one that I only needed one, and then it's folded. So those are pressed in half. Got those 2. And then I have all the pocket piecings, the back pockets and the front pockets. So what I'm going to go do now is do a lot of serging. I figured out that this is just a lot easier this way. So I'm going to serge this edge on this fly piece here, on both of these, serge down the fly facing on the curved edge for both of those. For the back pockets, literally go serge all the seams, all the edges all the way around. And then for all of the pocket pieces, serge these curved edges and on all of them. And this will just make it a little bit easier once I'm actually putting this together. The other thing that I will need to do with the serger before I really start is there's a little small part on the front 2 pieces of the shorts that I need to sew, like literally probably this much, but I'm gonna serge those 2 seams down. I'll show that in a minute, but I have to actually sew those together. Anyway, all of this makes the actual construction a lot faster and a lot easier, so I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and do all of it. So this is what I was showing or talking about earlier. So this is the other bit that I needed to serge down and then clipped here, because then you just sew from the center crotch to the point that it had marked on the pattern. And this is where the zipper is going to go. So it's going to go in there. However, to get to that point, there's a lot more steps. But this is why I was saying it was just easier to go ahead and serge it, because you're sewing it here and it's really helpful to go ahead and have that edge finished. But you don't have to, but that's just what I do. So the next thing I need to do for both pairs of shorts is I need to go cut the zipper. Either that or I might wait. I actually think I might wait to cut it. But you take it over, and this is where all the fly pieces come in. And I've got to start by sewing, matching up this zipper here with the finished edge and sewing down to where that seam stops. And then the zipper will be trimmed off after that, but this is where I've got to sew it down, and then begins the other process. So I'm going to start by, I've got to go change the foot on my machine. I don't have much time left before I have to go pick up kids today, so I probably won't finish this, but let's see how far I can get. So it's on, and I top stitched it down there. So now this gets sewn on like back there. So yeah, I just did a seam. I should have probably, now that I'm remembering, I should have sewn that on with that seam, but that's okay. I'll just go put stitches on top of those stitches to the best of my ability and stitch that down, and then we'll come back and get this on, and then I'll try to show how the rest of it goes, because I know flies can be a little tricky, and I feel like this works really well. Alright, so now I have stitched this on, done another row of stitching. It's fine. I switched the thread out too because I realized I didn't like the other thread with it. So it's, yeah, it's fine. So now for the other part of the fly. So this is the edge I serged here. I didn't serge this edge, and I mean, I don't need to. I could. I don't need to. With the interfacing, it really will be fine. So this gets pinned here with the right sides together to the other side of the front there. And as with the other side, it gets sewn down right to where the seam comes together right there. And then it will get flipped to the back. So like all the way over like that. I'm not showing it really well, but yes, right sides together right there, and then I'll come, oops, right there, and then I'll come show that. All right, so it's sewn there and then folded back and pressed, and then I line it up with the front here, if I can actually show it. This is an awkward angle for my arms, but then once it's that way, I stitched it all down here. I did knot it off here because when I came down to do this little fly thing, you don't want to catch this piece going down the straight. It is fine that way. So when you sew down here, you don't want to catch this piece in it, because when you open it up, you want it to be like that. And then this edge is finished here, and that edge is folded over, so it's fine. So again, it's fine if it catches this particular part of the flap in the curve, but you don't want it in the straight. And that is the little zipper for the front. So I'm going to go stitch this piece down, and that is where I stop for today. Oh, one last thing before I go. I'm going to trim off the zipper. So just my there we go. Putting in these front pockets is fairly straightforward. You just sew that facing down, clip the curve, turn it back to the inside of the shorts, top stitch that down, and then put the pocket piece behind it and sew them together. And I'm going to show all of these steps. And then after those pockets, I begin the process of getting the back pockets done, which again is fairly straightforward on getting pocket pieces on. I just wanted to hop on here to say that this video is kind of my in clutch video for the week. I haven't actually stepped in the sewing room in probably 3 or 4 weeks at this point. It is still summer. I made these shorts back a few months ago before school let out for the summer. So you'll see some projects that are already done sort of in the background. But my husband has been sick, and had a couple of kids sick. So it's kind of funny for me to go back and look through all of this footage. I was trying to make this more of a tutorial because I know that flies can be a little tricky on shorts, and there's just a lot more footage than I typically have. So it's been going through all of it. But I'm still very pleased with how these shorts turned out, and the boys have worn them a lot since they have been finished. So I'm really pleased with it, and yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there if anybody sees any inconsistencies with the rest of my channel. Wasn't even sure I was going to get a video out this week. It is what it is when you have a family of 7. But back to the shorts. So I do have a double needle for my other machine. I do not have one for the Juki. I don't even know if the Juki will take one. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. It's a straight stitch, but I haven't researched it. However, I chose to just stick with the Juki this time and not do the double needle. And then I went all the way around the pocket and turned around, went all the way back. It's a little bit more time consuming because you want to make sure that those 2 rows of stitching look like they were done with 1 needle, but it's doable. I've done it a lot because I didn't have a twin needle for a really long time. And yeah, this method works if you don't have a twin needle. Okay, I have to leave in like 15 minutes for a couple of appointments, so I don't have much time. But I was able to get the back pockets on and the front and back sewn together, serged those seams, and I'm saving the crotch seam for after when the waistband is done. We'll do that towards the end. So the waistband is next. I love little shorts. Oh my gosh. We did little pockets on the back. Anyway, these are turning out so cute. I love these stripes so much. Okay, so the next thing is to do the belt loops. So, pause. So you have the strip, and then I've got to iron it down in the middle, and then iron the 2 edges into that fold line, and then do 2 rows of top stitching all the way down on both sides, and then you cut it to the lengths that you need for the loops. Okay, time just doesn't slow down. It's been 2 days since I've had the ability to work on this. But I did was able to, before I walked away the last time, get the interfacing cut out and ironed onto the waistband pieces. And I have sewn them together at the center back, waiting on the iron to heat up currently so that I can iron them out. And then I have the belt loops done, so I need to do the measuring and cutting them apart, and then go ahead and get these pinned on around the shorts where I want them, because the next step will be to sew the waistband on, which will catch the first edge of each of these. So let's get these cut out, the waistbands ironed, and get these shorts done. As with most of the buttonholes that I have done in recent months, I took this over to my slant needle and used the buttonholer to put these in. And these are on the inside of the waistband, because this is going to be what the adjustable elastic comes out of. And then I will sew a button on either side of the hole, as I will show later. And then all I did was clip them open and put fray check on them, and I actually completely cleaned them out, so there was a wide gap in the buttonhole, and then I used fray check and they turned out great. And then for what I'm showing here for sewing the waistband together at that top edge. So if you'll see, I pinned down the belt loops first, and then I came down and pinned down the waistband, because you want those to not lay flat, because once you sew it, if they were laying flat, then they're really tight up against the waistband, and you can't, well, I mean, I guess you could, but it doesn't work as well for getting the belt in and out. I don't know if the boys will ever wear a belt, but I want them usable, not just looking good. So after that was done, just turn it right side out and stitch in the ditch on the other side to finish that off. And as you saw, I did clip the corners to make sure that they laid flat, and used my trusty chopstick to get the corners sharp. Then it was just sewing the crotch seam closed, serging that down, and then I did a turn and turn hem on the 4 legs, and I did it from the right side, so I made sure it was pressed really well, because I just wanted to make sure that my stitching line was perfect. Then I took it over and threaded the elastic through, put it after I sewed the buttons on the inside, and did the snap. And after that, the shorts were done. They're done! Yay! So I think they're pretty adorable. I love the stripes. It'll focus on them. No, it's not going to focus on them. There we go. I think, yeah. And the little snap. Oh, it all worked. I cannot wait till the boys get home from school and we can try them on and I can do the waist adjustment. Yeah, they're so cute. I love little shorts. When they're done, I'm kind of done with making little shorts right now. Hence why I'm not going to make the other two, because this is fine. They don't need any more than this and the other two that I found. So these are adorable, and I will have them put them on and probably do a little bit of their prancing, but obviously I will not be showing their faces. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this fun little project for my boys. So I'd love to hear what you think, your thoughts, if you've made clothes for your kids and what you've made. It's fun to do it for them when they like it. If they don't like it, that's different. I'd love for you to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video because I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is as well. Bye. Strike a pose and show me your new shorts. Okay, how about put your hands in your pockets, see how deep they go.
I don't have any pockets.
Oh, you got pockets. They're right there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, can you turn around, let me see the backs? You got back pockets too. Turn around, let me see the backs. Whoa, you two are styling. Whoa. All right, turn back around, let me see the fronts again. Whoa.
You make the twins.
I love it.